breaking through, pushing back with a point of view. Voices loud, never gonna fade, rising up where the path is made.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hanging Left, episode 17. Surprise, surprise, it's been a while, but here we are. My name is Matt Connerton, and of course, my partner in crime in this venture, Todd Ayer. Hello, Todd.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how's it hanging?
Hanging left, although, you know, a little bit, very much low hanging there with the heat. You know, it's very warm out.
Whoa, TMI.
Well, I mean, that's just a biological thing. That's what they say with doctors. I mean, that, you know,
That's
I don't
true.
know.
That's
Anyway.
true. That's true. And I am a certified hypnotherapist. I'm not a doctor, but close enough.
So what?
Therapist. Therapist is in my title. At least, and in New Hampshire, I can do that. Did you know there are some states?
You can do what?
There are some states in this grand country. No, not what you think. There are some states. I can't prescribe anything if that's what you're wondering.
No. You know, we went from hanging low hanging to like, well, I'm a therapist.
Well, there are some states in this great country where I cannot legally use the term hypnotherapist. I can only call myself a hypnotist. Now, New Hampshire is not one of those states.
I'm sure it's not. We don't limit anything.
We don't limit anything. But I am certified. I through the National Guild of Hypnotists, just for the record.
Okay.
So I call myself a certified hypnotherapist because we use it for therapeutic purposes. But there are places where I cannot say that.
You should. I would like to try it sometime. I've never done it.
Oh yes. Do you need help quitting smoking?
No.
I only ask because that's the number one thing that clients come to me for. Especially,
I would just like to try it. Like, can you find out? I don't know.
All your deepest, darkest secrets? No.
No, like, what do you, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
There are many applications. Go to mattconnerton.com for more information. You can learn all about it. And you can schedule a session there. But, Todd, it's been a while, and it's not like there's been anything happening really. News is always pretty slow. Certainly not when I go to pump gas, but I suppose we'll talk about Iran later. But I think we wanted to first talk about celebrating, of course, 250 years of America.
Yeah.
And I consider myself a patriot. I know that many people who are not politically aligned with us consider us to be not patriotic. But I do think I'm so patriotic that last Saturday on my live radio show, Matt Connerton Unleashed, I played what is, to me, this was my way of celebrating the 4th of July, the most patriotic song I could possibly think of. And that is, of course, Yankee Rose by David Lee Roth. But I am a true patriot. I've really, which is kind of funny and interesting, but I didn't realize sort of like the real sort of backstory behind Bruce Springsteen. So quick anecdote. Born in the USA thing?
Yeah, so when I first heard Bruce Springsteen, I thought he was like a pre-MAGA. So because I was very much in the whole only pretty exclusively in a punk rock or like alternative and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I just figured he was like a good old boy. So I really didn't like him. But then someone was like, oh, Todd, first off, he's from New Jersey. So it would be difficult for him to be a good old boy. And second off, like, he's actually very much like a rebel. Like, you should really listen to his stuff. Like, Born in the USA is not some America the Beautiful anthem. It's actually like about the brokenness of this country and like how people have been manipulated and all this. So I say that because one of my favorite things to do now is to play the what is it? The Streets of
the Streets of Philadelphia?
No. The one about the where were all those people killed by ICE? Oh my God, this is awful.
Minnesota, Minneapolis?
Right, the Streets of Minneapolis. So I like to play the Streets of Minneapolis, and I like to play Born in the USA to all the red hats. You know, like when I'm driving by, it's very fun.
So are you bringing that up because that was recently in the news? Aaron Lewis of the band, formerly of the band Stained, who's had a solo career in country music for a couple of decades now, publicly complaining that he feels duped because I guess after all these years, he suddenly realized what Born in the USA is. And by the way, this is not a joke. And he was not joking, that he was not trying to be ironic. I think he's literally too stupid to even understand irony. He's been publicly complaining on social media that he feels duped because all those years he thought Born in the USA was a patriotic anthem. And by the way, Aaron Luce is a total MAGA guy, obviously. And he feels duped by Bruce Springsteen, and he's very resentful.
It is a patriotic anthem, I think, in this time. And so that's where I was going to go with that. So for me, I don't see this 250 as a time to celebrate. I see this as more of a time to really realign and reset America back to what it could be. You know, I don't even think America ever has been what it could be, but
right.
I think it's a wake up call. So, you know, it's more of a cry to arms, if you will. I mean, metaphorically speaking, of course. I don't mean militarily, but I just mean like, you know, a cry to protest. You know, to me, it's all about. I celebrated by going to these parades and queening out in a patriotic way, dancing and everything.
Sure.
You know, because that's how I celebrate. Because self-expression is also part of celebration.
Yes.
You know? And being a queer male, and especially a very huge activist and a justice warrior in that world, as well as all human rights, you know, I think it's very important that they realize they cannot quiet us, they cannot silence us. And you know, I wished many MAGA people, you know, one last day under the regime. You know, I said, you know, enjoy this 4th while you can, because this is your last.
Oh, you mean once the midterms hit?
Yeah. I mean, you know, we're going to take everything back. I mean, we've got to.
Yep. Yep.
There's no choice.
Did you see I guess finally over the 4th of July weekend, some people finally ambled in, but the state fair.
Oh, that was a disaster. It was so bad. It was so bad. So first off, you know, it's one thing when the guy goes and blows how many, you know, millions and millions and millions of dollars of our money, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, but he does it badly yet again. Another disaster to the point where, like, they don't even know enough to have a stable, like, facsimile of the arch that won't, like, collapse and fall on their dancers. I mean, this is like,
I know,
ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
But a metaphor for MAGA.
It really is. It really is. And seeing Fox News, it was so pathetic seeing them try so hard to make it look like a rousing success. And
how? Why?
It just wasn't.
I mean, they're crushing their careers in the process, I think. I mean,
well, I don't know about that. I mean, no. I mean, I think in terms of I think for Republicans generally, I don't think there's any such thing as embarrassment anymore. I don't think most. I mean, there's a segment.
Let's not say Republicans anymore, though, because I really think we have to drive home. And I'm saying this because, you know, Sarah, who I work with, and even some, and I feel like probably even some of the people that support HRC at one point in time were probably Republicans. So I think that, like, you know, fiscally Republican people, or even people that are like maybe a little bit more nuanced socially, but not like oppressive. They're just a little more conservative with certain stands. You know, whatever. You know, the way I look at it is we're helping them get back their party too. I mean, by default. Yeah. I mean, but so I don't believe it's Republicans. I believe it's the MAGA hijacking. I really do, because
but
Republicans have left the party.
You would hope so. I tend to be more cynical about that than you are. But
well, I'm just trying to, like, throw out good juju.
No, I know. And I do appreciate you for doing that.
I honestly don't even know if what I'm saying is true. It's wishful thinking, because to me, there's a bigger problem here. If indeed, like, this is it, then maybe we do need to explore. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I know I can't continue to live under this kind of regime. That I know. Right.
Well, it is going to break, you know, as we reference when we get to the midterms. Trump will be truly lame duck.
Sure. But we got to be careful who we put forward, you know, and to that point, we can always, you know, I guess that's a good segue into Plattner.
Graham Plattner, who turns out not only got himself a Nazi tattoo, but is an alleged rapist. Todd, I don't know how you're going to feel about this. This might be an unpopular opinion with a lot of our listeners and viewers, but I think that Democrats generally should be embarrassed that we even let this guy get this far to begin with.
Oh, I agree. I absolutely agree.
Yeah, the Nazi tattoo should have been a deal breaker.
You're probably right.
And it is shocking to me that no, apparently it wasn't for many people, especially maybe more so in the mainstream media like cable news and stuff, but in the online left, they were all willing to look right past it.
Wanted to. I mean, it's I guess in that way we were practicing willful ignorance, right? I mean, I think we really wanted to believe that he didn't know. I don't know. That's what I wanted to believe.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'll be fully transparent here. If I had believed at any point initially that he was, hold on one second. I just want to see if my dog is chewing.
Sure.
No tweeting. That's not going to happen.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Cords
are not good.
No. All right.
Not good to chew.
That's done.
Unless it's like a quart of licorice or something, which I assume that is not.
No, she's got plenty of toys. She doesn't need to chew. So many toys, it's ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, so I guess, and maybe this is a little bit, and some might even call it, in some ways it's like a backwards compliment. I guess I believed he was so just kind of like not woke or didn't understand things that like maybe he did get a Nazi tattoo. Like he was just kind of not the most cultured country boy. It's kind of how I saw it. I mean, I don't necessarily know if every person. No, what was it? Which Nazi tattoo was it? I mean, the swastika would be one thing, but it wasn't the swastika.
Yeah, I don't remember beyond. I don't know. I hear Nazi
tattoo. The more nuanced ones. I mean, I think you'd have to know a little bit about the Nazis. Again, I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm
like,
just.
Do you think everyone knows the Iron Eagle is Nazi?
I don't know. I don't know if everyone knows that, but
we go. Someone could have an Iron Eagle.
But I'm not going to support a candidate where I even have to wonder something like that. And I just think our, I mean, we really,
desperation, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I guess we just felt like handing the other side a loaded gun because it's shocking to me.
They like Nazis, so they could actually offer him a job.
That's true. Plattner could have been the one to really reach across the aisle and unite.
Right. I feel like Stephen Miller has a place for him in his office.
That's true. He could have been the left-wing Stephen Miller,
which is really right-wing. This is how that works.
Yeah.
I think it's just that people want to think, and they kind of do this with Trump too, in a way. So I guess it proves the ignorance isn't just on the right. People really want to think that if they're not in the system, then they're a safe bet. And that's a bad precedent.
Mm-hmm.
So in that way, and I'll tell you who this also kind of gives a little bit of like a gold star to that I don't want to give a gold star to, and that's the Democratic establishment. I mean, frankly, we would be better off with an establishment Democrat than a Nazi and a rapist, obviously.
Well, we'd be better off with almost anyone than a Nazi and a rapist, though. I mean, that's a pretty low bar.
Well, yes, and I guess okay, maybe a womanizer, but then that's just MAGA. It's just a left-wing MAGA is really all it is.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not from Maine.
No.
So I don't claim to understand, but I could see New Hampshire doing something like this too, honestly.
No, I could too. Yeah, I could too. Absolutely. And then so the guy who is and we were talking about this right before the show, neither of us know much about him, but Troy Jackson, I guess, will be the one to
yeah, but we better vet him. I mean, let's really dig in there. Let's at least, or even a peripheral vet, it sounds like. It doesn't even sound like we like how can this man. The thing that I found shocking about Plattner is that like it wasn't like one thing. It's like the minute that Nazi thing came out, then it was just like one alleged misogynistic story / assault / whatever after another after another. I mean, it just started hemorrhaging.
Yeah. 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 I mean, but again, it just,
women weren't more upset by this.
I think, well, a lot of women probably already were, well, it is interesting to see. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up actually, because I wasn't thinking about this aspect of it until you mentioned it, but it reminded me because again, I referred to the online left earlier, right. Many of whom were all in on Plattner and willing to look behind his, questionable tattoo. Some of them now, Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks is one of them.
Oh yeah.
It's one thing. Look, I understand. Sometimes, just because somebody makes an accusation doesn't mean you believe it.
Correct.
Take it at face value necessarily. If there seems to be some sort of a pattern, then you better take it pretty seriously. But Anna Kasparian of the Young Turks has been doing what sounds like some victim blaming. And she did she did classic textbook victim blaming in this case. Shady. And again, this is somebody on the left doing this, ostensibly on the left, but
We're not immune.
She's
not immune to bad behavior
because she was saying things like, why would this woman let this man sexually assault her and then spend the night in her apartment and things like that. And it's like, I don't
care if you're sleeping buck-ass naked. No one has a right to violate you unless, that's rape if they're violating you.
Right.
It has to be consent.
Right. And allegedly, I mean, according to her account, he was drunk and it's like, yeah, so you got this big drunk guy in your apartment and he's sexually assaulted you and then you're not sure how to get him out the door. I mean,
aren't they usually drunk?
Probably. I mean,
yeah, that's not an excuse either.
It's really sickening to hear her. She's someone I respected at one time, but it's really sickening to hear the way she talks about it and the excuses that she makes. And
I mean, you also have to remember a lot of these podcasters, like left, right, whatever they are. I guess I shouldn't shoot our own thing, but it's true. Many of them, I won't do this, but many of them jump camps, if they think it's going to get them better ratings or whatever.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
They're like piranhas. They eat their own philosophies and I don't know. And I guess because it's those people, it's really about sensationalism. It's not about really any spreading any enlightenment or trying to rally the troops or any of that. It's literally just just to create chaos and make money off it.
Get those clicks.
Yeah, that's really all it's about.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, so far looking at I've got an article here from Politico looking at this guy, Troy Jackson. He doesn't I don't see anything about Nazi tattoos or rape. So that's good. That's good. I'm sure we'll learn more about him in the coming days.
Hopefully he's not in the Epstein files, nor is he on any, watch list. That would be good too.
Right. Well, a watch list can be a badge of honor. It depends on what kind of list. I mean, with the current administration.
No. I'm talking about Republican. I'm talking about, the child predator watch list. Yeah.
Oh, I thought, okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Hopefully not. Hopefully he's not a sex offender or anything like that. So we'll hope for the best. But yeah, the Plattner thing.
Thing I think though, here's what I think. And this is where I'm a little bit, I don't know what you'd call this, but honestly, I don't care. I just think he should have gotten out when it started getting we need to win and we need someone that can win. And so I wanted him out just when he wasn't going to win anymore. I didn't need anything more than that. Just get rid of him.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it. So even if he's innocent, I still want him out because we're not going to win. And I'm sorry, that's where we're at this point.
Right.
As I said, politics is a blood sport. And if you want to be coddled and, if you want to have a group chat session and talk about your feelings, it's not politics.
Right.
You certainly don't go in with laundry you don't want shown.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
Hi, Twiggy.
Absolutely.
Twiggy agrees. See?
Hi, Twiggy. Well, very cute. Very
She's
cute.
a love bug.
Yes. Well, should we talk about Iran? That's been kind of
sure,
a big,
sure.
kind of a big
Well,
deal.
so we screwed ourselves. There's another screw. So the war never ended. Shock of shocks. Of course,
Well, you could argue it's ended umpteen times.
Well, in his mind, I don't follow Fox, so I don't know.
I mean, they've declared victory several times
and
now.
it was tough enough for me to watch FIFA and Fox Sports. Like, I really, yeah. I mean, I'm glad I did because, but here's the thing that's interesting about that, not to get onto that, but just quickly, someone made a good point, and it's true. You know what? The one thing that I think that's really we should sort of put a pin in about the World Cup is that, have you noticed that, like, if everyone behaved like people that attended the World Cup, the world would be in a pretty good place. It's the leaders that really seem to be the problem. All these other people all get along. I mean, you even had people from like Scotland sending money to like school districts in Massachusetts to thank them for their hospitality. I mean, for the most part, people are good,
Right.
like
It's true.
it's these whack-doodle leaders that are power hungry and
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I didn't watch any of the World Cup. I did.
I like it.
Yeah, a lot of people do. I don't follow sports ball in any of its forms, but yeah, Iran. I'm surprised I haven't seen the meme yet. I mean, I'm sure it's out there of W with the mission accomplished banner behind him.
Oh yeah,
because Trump, or not usually directly, but through one of his spokespeople, so to speak, like JD Vance. JD Vance at one point went on, was doing the rounds on cable news declaring victory. And then I think, later that afternoon.
Oh yeah, the MAGA Chucky doll. The MAGA Chucky doll.
Yes. He does look like
Smoky
Chucky.
Eyes, as they call him on, they call him Smoky Eyes on I've Had It.
Oh, do they? Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. So, but yeah, this thing just keeps going.
Yeah.
Trump can't seem to get Israel to cooperate.
Hello. Netanyahu's laughing at Trump, like Putin laughs at Trump. Like both Putin and Netanyahu take advantage of Trump and his just like stupidity that is then exacerbated by his such fragile ego that, like, I've never seen some of that. Like, literally all you have to do is metaphorically jerk this guy off and he likes you. It's ridiculous.
Right.
Like, the man has no standards. Like,
no.
And he has no real, honestly, he has no real self-respect either. Because if you're that pathetic that that's all it takes is like, boy, Trump, I like your hair, when clearly no one's going to like Trump's hair in reality. Like, how oblivious do you have to be to life? To like, I mean, like, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, the laws that he wants to pass with, what is it? People, what's that law with he doesn't want people to be born, what is it called?
Oh, birthright citizenship?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
His whole damn family would be shipped away.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his wife.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she'd be deported. She should be deported, really, by his views. She should be. No, I'm serious.
Well,
if
she's
you're following
white.
the MAGA doctrine, she's an immigrant, isn't she?
Yeah, but she's white.
But I thought he did deport some white people too. What about that poor journalist?
She does have a funny accent.
Oh yeah, true. Well, I think that what the real truth of her is, I think she's actually, he found her actually at the Epstein Islands.
That is a theory. There is a theory. I don't know that there's any evidence to support it, but it is a theory.
I mean, it's not odd to have, a Russian bride network. Eastern European, prostitution is alive and well in Eastern Europe. And trafficking. Hold on one second.
Yeah. While Todd's away, I would just say I don't know that that's. I know that that's a theory that's out there. I do want to be responsible about it. I don't know that there's any sort of evidence to suggest, or at least hard evidence to suggest that that is how Trump came to meet Melania. But but it certainly wouldn't surprise me either, though.
I'm just throwing nasty things out there and see what sticks. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I've told you many times. I relish the idea of being, a night fear in their lives.
Of being a what?
a night fear, dreams like nightmares that you
Oh.
literally wake up from and you think they're still happening.
Oh, night fear? I don't know that term.
Night, I think it's called a night fear. Look it up, Google it.
Or is it a night terror?
Night
You mean
terror,
night
maybe?
terror? I think you mean night terror.
Night
yeah.
terror. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
yeah. It's like a dream, but it's more severe and
Yeah. That's what
you
I
wake
hope
up
I
and
am to the MAGA population.
I hope so. That would be wonderful. But yeah, I mean, Iran, by all accounts, seems to be in a stronger position now than they were before the war.
Now they have absolute control of the
Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, the Strait of Hormuz. I don't know what my problem is today. Sorry. The heat. I'll blame it on the heat.
Yeah.
And their people are now radicalized more because we killed so many of their leaders that, I mean, you can only kill so many. Well, actually, I wouldn't care how many leaders they killed in MAGA. I wouldn't become like more American just because they wiped out MAGA people. But if they hit, like, let's say they just took out normal political people, obviously we would all, like during the time of like 9/11, if they had killed the president, obviously, even though I was not a huge fan of him, I probably would have been like, whoa, like that's a bridge too far. So like,
Right.
I understand, why these people are angry, but also they're kind of agitated because like, Trump talks out of both sides of his mouth, as do all of those people. And so like, basically, they were told they were doing this to help them establish like a more democratic regime. I mean, a democratic government. And he's done nothing of the sort.
Yeah, there haven't been really clearly stated goals and objectives here other than, well, we have to make sure that they don't have a nuke. But, the truth is when during the first administration, when Trump came in, he campaigned on it. He wanted to get rid of the JCPOA, the Iran nuclear deal, because really his entire policy. Well, because it was Obama, and it was
but it worked. It was
all
working.
Obama bad, but it was working. Yeah, absolutely.
And he's now destroyed it. And he's trying to put it back in place. Like what he's basically doing is basically that. That's what he ideally would like to do.
Yeah.
Maybe there might be some nuances to it, but that's basically it. And they won't do it again.
Right. Well, the New Deal that they came up with was much more favorable to Iran.
I know.
Than the JCPOA.
How is this dude the art of the deal? I don't understand. Like every deal the guy gets in, we end up in worse position.
Well, because he's a con man. He's the most obvious con man ever, and MAGA people just don't have the cognitive function to understand that. But
he's conning. What I'm saying is like he's such a con man. He cons himself. So like all of these, it totally is the emperor's new clothes. But it's to like the point of extreme. Like these people so blindly follow him, and I'm talking about his leadership.
Right?
They are self-sabotaging. Like so many of them are self-sabotaging. Like. It continues. I mean, this is a pattern the first time around too. People that followed him, their careers were tanked. They were destroyed. The same thing is happening. They get fired. They get, their careers get tanked. They get threats, all of it. Like no one's life gets better other than Trump for following Trump.
Right. Well, but I think they make a calculation that their lives will be even worse if they don't follow Trump. In other words, I think
they've got to either have some dirty laundry on them or something like, I mean, I guess, cause like for all intrinsic purposes, like, and I don't mean like, I would call Stephen Miller, for instance, maniacal, which implies like he's a sociopath, but I probably would say he's insane, but he's brilliantly insane. So like, I think he's probably a smart guy, like a very smart person.
Smart enough to be dangerous.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I think that, but he even has allowed Trump to do things that like don't help his. So it's like, I don't understand. They don't, there's something missing. And then, I think it's also, maybe they're such megalomaniacs. Like Peter Thiel's another one. Like Peter Thiel's so off his rocker at this point. Like, it's like almost like they're going to implode. They're going to destroy themselves. And that's really what they're doing because like, they don't know when to hit the brakes. So like they just go for extreme and like, and then they think they can just say anything and everything all the time. And like what's happened now is they're starting to like unravel in front of like everybody but the MAGAs. Like people are just like, wait, what? You're like trying to put colonies in Mars and like all this, like it all sounds not like it only sounds normal to MAGA people at this point.
Right. But that's the important point, though. It does still sound normal to MAGA people, and that's who they fear.
Well, they're a cult. They're a cult.
Well, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
I mean, these poor people are sick at this point. Like they need deprogramming.
So if you're a Republican, and you're in some sort of leadership position or something somewhere in government, you can either be a part of the cult or have the cult be against you.
Well,
and
why not get together and overthrow the cult? I mean, they could do it.
These people have no courage. They have no guts. They have no integrity. They are pathetic.
I think they have no drive. They're also lazy. They have no drive.
Yeah.
Like
of course.
There were some of them, like, if they were smart, and I don't want them to do this because he's evil too, but like, I mean, because even during, like, if you look at the Nazi party and stuff, like, there were all kinds of like inner coup attempts and things like that.
Right.
Because a vast majority of them were as intelligent, if not more intelligent than Hitler. So like, there were all kinds of attempts.
Right.
Trying to like like Goebbels was, again, brilliant. I mean, again, maniacal, but brilliant.
Right.
You know, all of those guys, you know, maybe that's the thing. There just isn't a lot of intelligence here either. I mean, not at the top.
No,
and I think he did that on purpose.
Oh, definitely.
Like it's the tertiary people that probably have brains, but they're kept in the back room, just kind of like, you know, cracking the formulas and trying to, like, you know, and writing the lit or whatever. Like they're not front facing.
Well, but part of it too is he's surrounded. I think part of it is intentional. I think part of it is necessity in terms of him surrounding himself with these kinds of people, because after the first administration, you know, he wasn't going to get the A-list players.
Yeah, they probably don't want. That's true too. So I do think that there probably is like a silent protest, because, like, I mean, look at, like, you know, any Republican with any brains. That's why I think we're saying, oh, the Republicans, there's no good Republicans, because they've all just hit a pause and they're not active in the party right now. But it doesn't mean they don't still exist.
Yeah, it's kind of like because people. Well, the other thing too is, and this is something that frustrates me because this transcends politics. This is something that just generally in life, it's a part of human nature. People, whether they do it consciously or subconsciously, they embrace tribalism to the point that they don't like to speak out against their own. You see the same phenomenon. I
see it with my people sometimes, but I think that,
sure,
you know, in the queer community, but we've gotten better at it. I mean, and I think it's important. You have to, like, you're right, because there was, like, let's say there could have been a danger, like, God forbid, I'm glad we didn't do it. But everybody could be like, oh, Peter Thiel isn't all that bad. He's one of us. Like, no, thank God. He's like, we don't want him. Like, you can have him.
Right. You see it in the example that I used to like, and this will offend some people, but whatever, too bad. It's just the truth.
Offend people.
That's true. Yeah, the Catholic Church. You know,
yeah, for sure.
When do you ever hear, and I'm sure it happens, I'm sure there's somebody somewhere, but when do you ever hear someone who considers himself a devout Catholic actually speak up and say, yeah, you know, I love the church and I love this and I love that about it, but yeah, the child molestation, that does actually bother me? They don't say it. Why don't they say it? Because people don't like to speak up against their own.
Doesn't the new Pope, though? I mean, I don't know enough about him.
The new Pope has said some interesting things. I don't know if he has actually said, I'd rather priests not molest children. But see, he shouldn't have to say it, though. But I'm just talking about, like, average, like, everyday.
Well, I don't really put a lot of credence in, like, the average. I mean, I hate to say this, but I just don't. I don't put a lot of credence in just, like, average Americans anyway. I mean, because no, I don't.
No, I know.
Because they've chosen to be ignorant, like, in so many ways. Like, even if they're, like, kind of left leaning, it's like they're lazy left or they're lazy right. They're not, like, you know, in some ways, I mean, not that I want people to go be in a cult, but at least these people have a passion. Like, at least have a passion, for God's sakes. Like,
that's true.
It's always these benign do-nothings, how these people win, not the hardcore whack jobs. Like, you know, you can't win on just extremists. You have to have a bunch of other complacent people to win.
That's true.
So that's the whole problem. That's how Trump won. We had all, you know, how many people it's the people that excused his behavior that still actively said, I don't like it, but that was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the fact that he didn't really win. I mean, as far as like, I mean, if you look at it, I actually think the election was actually bought. I hate to sound like him, but oh my God, Twiggy, you're being so annoying today. Now she's chewing my HRC stickers.
Oh.
And a Sarah card.
Oh.
Twiggy, what's your deal today? You've got all these toys. Anyway, all right, those are gone. So, back to what I was saying. Yeah, so I just think, yeah, I don't know.
What's the Edmund Burke? Is it Edmund Burke who said, all that is necessary for evil to succeed is for good men to do nothing?
Yeah, I mean, this is why I always say, you know, that's also why I think we're going to win. I mean, in a lot of ways. I mean, this is horrible to say, but, you know, willful ignorance can work in our best interest either. But of course, I can't be a politician because it doesn't work when you outright say it to their face. And I do.
Right.
I mean, like, and I do say it to their face. So I'm not a good you know, it's like I was saying to Sarah the other day, like, it's really good that I'm helping you, but not the person that is being helped, because like, I feel like, you know, talk about, I mean, there's no way in hell, like with my social media and stuff like that, that I could ever convince a purple state that I was like tolerant of MAGA.
Right.
I mean, even that I'd give them, they wouldn't even believe I'd give them a second chance, because
right.
For the most part, I wouldn't. But, you know, again, I guess second chance is relative. It's more like I'm willing to like not like persecute them and harass them if it's just the, you know, the local Yoko locals. I could care less. It's more just like indifference. I'm not going to witch hunt them. I don't care.
Yeah. Well,
but I don't feel bad for them anymore.
Well, that's been an ongoing debate amongst, and we talked about this once before. I remember with the online left, which I guess we're a part of it. Been doing this podcast. We're a part of the online left.
We're very much part of it.
There's, you know, this debate about, do you know, people who have finally turned on Trump, do you welcome them in? Do you welcome them in with open arms, or do you welcome them with some skepticism, or do you welcome them in and say, okay, you can come join our team, but just got to say, not sure why you're just figuring this out now that he's a bad guy.
I mean, I guess skepticism, but also, I'm very pragmatic when it comes to this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the whole Plattner thing, is pragmatism too, to some extent.
Yeah.
So like, what I would say with that is like, we don't need a bunch of like average or below average people joining like the leadership of any group. So like,
right.
I mean, they've got other things they got to do. Like they got to like go denounce Trump and then get themselves in some kind of 12-step program and like whatever. They're not close to ready to like govern.
Yeah, because
so I don't want them involved, because frankly they're mentally ill. They need to go get help.
Well, that's the thing. If you're someone who ever bought in, because again, we're talking about someone
at least the three Trumpers, at least the three the you know, the 3-time Trumpers. If you voted for 3 times, like
yeah, and now they're finally saying, you know, because there's people in the online right who have finally turned on Trump, and this is part of why it's such a conversation in the online left.
Right.
You know, in the online right, you have Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens.
No, I say use them.
Tim Dillon.
I say use them. Great. I'm glad you're turning. Like, this is how I would go and negotiate with Trump people. I would say, look, I don't like you and you don't like me, but we both have a similar agenda that we're trying to get through. Right. So let's get rid of the elephant in the room. Let's get rid of him. Like, I will join. It's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing.
Yeah, especially in politics.
Yeah, but they're not really my friends. Like, you know, I feel that way about some of the extreme, you know, establishment Democrats. Like, I don't want to go break bread with them. I could care less if I go have cocktails, and I don't want to pretend that I like them as people.
Right. You don't want to hang out with Chuck Schumer?
No.
Me neither.
I mean, I think he's a loser in many respects, and like has no backbone. And I just don't want to hang out with anybody without a backbone.
Right. Agreed.
I don't respect weak people. And I don't mean that in the way Trump does. I don't mean people that like are disadvantaged. That's different.
Right, of course.
But I mean people that like choose to be weak.
Right.
I don't respect it. I mean, I've put a lot on the line to try to make this right.
Absolutely.
I've even made financial sacrifices. Like, you know, I took off X amount of time and used my investments to support myself to like help Sarah and this cause 24/7 without taking a salary. So, you know, I feel like I have a right to have some have some requirements, since I am walking the walk and talking the talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. You've also got the people who, and this is an interesting phenomenon. And again, this speaks to the cult part of it. Well, and you do see this with some of the people like Tucker and Candace, and they've turned on Trump, but they still don't want to hold him accountable. If you pay attention to the words, I've noticed Candace Owens doing this, where she'll talk.
She's no good. She's not a good person.
No, but she has turned on Trump ostensibly because of Israel and the genocide in Gaza, or what I feel is a genocide in Gaza. But she does this thing though, where she talks about how he's being advised, he's listening to the wrong people. In other words, this is a trick they play. And this is part of why so many of us on the online left are skeptical.
She's a grifter. I don't think she's even political, really. I mean,
right. But notice the way they speak. They don't want to blame him directly. They'll talk about him taking bad advice. They might hint at him being gullible or something, but they won't directly. Some of them are starting to, but for the most part.
Let's throw this out there, right?
Yeah.
So let's say, to some extent, I think they're so obsessed at being like relevant and being part of this like tribalism.
Yeah.
That like they're not going to step off until they figure out what the next ride is they can get on.
Sure.
So that's what this is about. This is about self-preservation and keeping the clicks and keeping the followers and keeping the views and all that. I mean, even because they're all wishy-washy. I mean,
well, and it's working for Candace Owens, by the way.
Correct.
She got fired. She got fired by the Daily Wire now for being anti-Israel. She started her own thing, and now her numbers are bigger than the Daily Wire's numbers.
Right. And you're going to have, and you do have amongst the anti-Israel crowd, people that are so anti-Israel that they're bordering on whack jobs too. I mean, they're, the things they want are ridiculous. Like the full dismantling of Israel, things like that. I mean, you can, like, for instance, theoretically, you can say that there should never really be a nation state based on one type of like religious ideology. I agree with that, but it exists. So we can't go like just dismantle it because we decided that they have to come. Look, we don't have a right to tell all these countries how they have to run themselves. Like if people want an Islamic state and it's what people want, they're not being forced into it, but they really want that, then they have a right to an Islamic state. If they want a Jewish state, they have a right to a Jewish state. We don't have a right to go into these places, especially when, we don't. And we need to stop pretending it's all about human rights all the time, because look at Sudan. I mean, not only do we do nothing about Sudan, but like we're allowing Trump's kids to go in there and like make mineral deals off the backs of these people. I mean, it's just beyond.
Well, the level. So that brings up another thing that I wanted to, and we didn't talk about this before the show, but something I'm curious if you saw this, because when you refer to that, you're obviously referring to the rampant corruption and the self-dealing and everything. I mean, it's funny.
Disgusting.
MAGA people will pass these memes around online about how, Trump doesn't even take a salary and he sacrificed so much to be president.
Really? What did he sacrifice? He's gotten richer.
He has gotten richer. He's got these crypto schemes going. He's doing all this stuff.
And his family. And he conned you fools. You're the idiots that got him richer.
Exactly.
Buying those dumb watches that don't work.
Yeah.
You can't get them near water or the gold falls up. Like, come on, dude.
Oh, they're all so dumb. But then, so JD Vance, I forget where he said this. He was speaking at some sort of conference or something, or he was on some panel or being interviewed or something. And he starts talking about Nixon, and with no apparent sense of irony or self-awareness or anything, he talks about how, it really is kind of unfair how Nixon was treated. And if Watergate had happened today, it would have been in the news cycle for 12 hours and then it would have just gone away.
Oh, yeah, because it happens every day.
Exactly. But that's what he doesn't. And that's it. But he says it like he's trying to whitewash Nixon or glaze Nixon when he says this. But it's like, dude, what you're really saying is your administration is so corrupt that because he literally is correct. what he said is correct. If
He's very
Watergate were to happen today with Trump, yeah, it wouldn't blow over in 12 hours, maybe 24, maybe 48. But at the end of the day, that's just another example of corruption in the Trump administration. And all the MAGA people are
every day. Every
yeah.
day.
Oh, yeah. We've never seen anything like this in our lifetimes.
We've never been so fleeced. And so, and we have a do nothing Congress, at least one whole half of the Congress that does nothing.
Right.
Like they should also, I don't know how you do it, but they should be impeached and fired or whatever the hell you do with that too. Because they're not doing their job. Like,
Yeah.
And speaking of not doing their job, now we've got, this will be interesting. I wonder how long they're going to prop up Mitch McConnell before they admit he's like brain dead and no longer.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to admit to that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, Mitch McConnell is allegedly brain dead, but they're keeping him breathing his body in a hospital. His wife is in China, Elaine Chao. She's in China. She's not even, you would think she'd be by his side if he's,
Well, would you? I would.
But no, I mean, he's dead. He's effectively dead. He's brain dead. But they don't want to have a special election for that seat.
I don't know if I can send you the picture. There's a really funny picture of like, it's don't worry. It's Kentucky has their legislature under control, and they have this like meme of Mitch McConnell, like, and they've kind of like transposed him to looking like The Walking Dead.
Oh, really?
All like decrepit, like.
Are you sending it to me?
I can try to find it. They're like, nothing. Don't worry, nothing going on here.
Oh yeah, that's all right. If you don't have it ready. Oh, you just froze up. Probably trying to do too many things at once on your end. Yeah, you're totally frozen. Todd is totally frozen, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching the video of this, you can plainly see that. But if you are listening to the audio version of the show, that is why I am now speaking and Todd is not, because I think what happened is Todd went to look for that picture, and now he is frozen. He was trying to do too many things at once on his device. My advice would have been not to do too many things at once on your device. But yes, he is in fact frozen. Oh, and here he is again. Let's add him back in. Let's see if that works. I just clicked add to stream, and it is not working. No, it is not working. What's going on here? Oh, let me try that again.
I'm back.
There you are.
Yeah, I did send you the picture.
All right, let me get rid of this other you here.
I know.
There we go. Yeah, you totally froze. All right, let me see if I can grab that picture. I assume you sent it in Messenger?
Yeah.
All right, let's see here.
Flattering.
Yeah, while I grab that, oh my goodness. Yeah, this I was thinking Weekend at Bernie's, but this is more like this is just ghoulish, like
very Walking Dead.
Night of the Living Dead here. Wait a second, let me just grab this picture. Yeah, very, very ghoulish. This would be I
mean, he is already
good
looked
for
like
Halloween.
Weekend at Bernie's. When he's alive, he looks like Weekend at Bernie's. So like at this point, I mean, the guy looks anyway. So I guess what they're stating is like, look, this is the degree you have to go to, because he's already kind of Walking Dead.
Yeah, he's 84 years old. There he is. Yes. 84 years old. Clearly in this picture, he needs to see a dermatologist, I suppose.
I would say at least. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got facial plaque.
He's what? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. He needs a dermatologist and a dentist. Absolutely. Well, so Mitch is brain dead. So he's
only the best. Trump only hires the best, only keeps the best.
Yeah. Well, Mitch McConnell, I mean, again, and I'm not going to laugh over anyone's grave or anything, or impending grave, but it is worth mentioning Mitch
That's
McConnell.
Where you and I are different.
If Mitch McConnell had done the right thing and voted to convict Trump after January 6th, then Trump would not have been able to. Trump would have been convicted and would not have been able to run for president again. So I do blame Mitch McConnell for the second Trump presidency. And
I mean, here's the thing, Matt, and I don't know if this will help you, but this is how I look at it, right? Like do you get all teary-eyed and cry every time you hear about some stranger passing that you never are going to know or whatever in the news?
No.
No.
No,
And
of course
do you do
not.
it when you see war coverage? No. And do you probably even do it when you see like Save the Children ads? No. So, you know, and those people have done nothing and probably deserve more of your sympathy than a Mitch McConnell. So how I look at it is
True.
like this dude did stuff, and especially to my people, like my tribe.
Yep.
Like, you know, he didn't care. He wouldn't care if I lived or died. So why should
True.
I care?
Yeah, that's valid.
I mean, it's not that I wish him dead. I don't sit around and go,
No,
ooh,
no.
and have like a voodoo doll or like a witch and try to like, you know, curse him to death. I could care less. I just, that's what it is. It's like indifference.
Yeah. Well, again, I mean, he is 84 years old too, so
That's the other thing too. But he's 84 and not a good guy.
it's not like you have to stick pins in a voodoo doll. He's, you know, even if this didn't get him, which apparently it has if he's brain dead, there's no coming back from that.
Not
I don't know
usually.
why they keep people alive who are
I
brain
don't
dead.
either. That could be a whole other topic sometime. But like,
Pull-
yeah, I don't.
Pull that plug.
I agree.
But I get why they're trying to hide it.
Oh, sure.
They don't want to give up that seat.
Yeah, right.
And there's a little bit of, you know, because Kentucky, of course, Andy Beshear, they have a Democrat
that's
for a governor, and they don't want. Now, there's a little bit of confusion about this, though, because I thought the rationale for why they're trying to pretend that he's still alive, Mitch McConnell, it sounds so bizarre to even say that they're trying to pretend that Mitch McConnell is alive.
The minute like the general population knows you're pretending that someone's alive, they know he's not alive. So
Right,
you've already
right.
failed at that point.
Right.
Like,
But they don't want Andy Beshear to be able to appoint a Democrat to that seat. But, and this is where
could
there's
he
some
do that?
confusion.
Oh, could he do that?
Well, normally in most states, yes, but I believe Republicans had preemptively, they had passed a law almost like they knew something like this could happen. And maybe this is why.
Well,
Maybe
look at Strom Thurmond. I mean, you know, this is the
Yeah.
second time.
they had passed a law saying that Beshear cannot, that they have to have a special election. I think that Beshear cannot, because it varies from state to state. In some states, the governor can appoint a new senator or a new congressman. In some states, you have to have a special election. In some states, it depends on where you are in the term. You know, it varies. You know, it's like fireworks laws. Every state has their own. So I don't know. I'm not sure, but yeah, they clearly do not want to acknowledge that he's brain dead.
Yeah.
And they've done a good job.
There's definitely some things they're afraid of. I mean, even
Yeah.
like Tallarico in Texas is making a lot of momentum, and that scares them.
Oh yeah. Well, Texas
I mean,
Texas
now
is an
Johnson,
interesting
the only
place.
thing Johnson can say now is like, guys, we can't let this happen, because if this happens, the Democrats, they're like, especially the progressives, they're going to force their other Democrats to like put a lot of us in jail and like whatever. I'm like, yeah, exactly. That is
Yeah.
the only thing you've ever said right in your life.
So that reminds me too, another thing I should ask you about before we because we got a bit of time left. We're coming up on an hour. I don't want to go too much longer than that because frankly I'm in a very, very hot room.
Oh,
But
yeah.
but there's a lot of hand wringing right now on the left about these recent primaries where I guess, well, so you know, they call them socialists, these socialist candidates, which I always think is kind of silly because, and I may have said this to you before on this program, I'm not sure, but I always find the whole the whole debate in this country between socialism and capitalism really silly because it's a false choice. We have both. We've always had both. We always will have both.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when I hear someone like a boomer collecting Social Security complaining about socialism. It's like, wow, you have
Medicare, all these things.
no, they have no self-awareness or just they don't understand what socialism is. But I don't know. I guess mainstream Democrats are supposed to, and some of them are upset. These talking heads on social media and MS Now, they are.
A lot of boomers really still think that like socialism is communism and communism is fascism. They don't realize that. They don't realize that, like, no, that's not the case. What it was is that all of these groups that called themselves either socialists or communists were actually fascists. That's the reality. Like, Russia was never, I don't know, I guess somewhat, but like, certainly a lot of these places never were communist or socialist ever. They were always dictatorships.
Yeah, it's like people don't understand that
Like
we have
Russia's
all
not communist anymore.
right. We have all these different terms because they literally all mean
Word
different
salad.
things. But people just but on the right they just mix them all together. Socialism, communism, they all just mean the same thing to them.
To be fair, even the left does it sometimes.
The left is guilty. Yes, you're right.
They really,
You're right.
Even this whole like fear of like categorizing yourself as like progressive.
Yeah.
Like this is silly. Like, why can't we just say progress? Like, I do understand to some extent. I mean, I guess whatever, we want to win elections. But once we win this election, I think it's time we have an inner awakening as well. Like, because the thing is, I think that people actually really do want change. Most people, at least enough of them. And the ones that don't care, and they'll go right along with it. So like, what's the problem?
Yeah, I think, but I think we also need to be clear about something. Well, let me put it this way. I don't think it's helpful the way some of these so-called centrist, moderate, whatever Democrats in the media, like Joe and Mika, for example, on Morning Joe, the way they get so upset about these allegedly radical socialist Democrats winning. I don't know what the hell they think these people are saying that is so scary. Like what? Because they want universal health care? That's like
that's what we're having. That's the problem we're having in New Hampshire. Like we've got all these people like, frankly, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything about Stephanie. I don't know enough about it, but like others though, they're like, they can't say universal health care.
Right.
But they're like, but we really need healthcare reform where everybody has healthcare. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have simplified that by saying universal healthcare. Like,
right.
I get maybe not saying Medicare for all because maybe that's not the program you want to do. Maybe there's a better way,
right.
And there probably is. But also, why not build on two systems that are in place? We already have Medicare, and we already have in Medicare, Medicaid, and we also have Obamacare. So, and neither of those things were supposed to be like the end all and be all, especially Obamacare. It was a starting point. So we have starting points. We don't need to then go in and reinvent something only to come to the same conclusion.
I think the reason they're afraid to say universal health care is because Republicans have taken that term and redefined it as being a government takeover of healthcare, and something where Democrats are, in my opinion, and again, I'm speaking from the left, but I will say something where Democrats are historically very inept about is we are far too willing to allow Republicans to take these terms and define them for us.
We don't defend I agree.
We don't defend it. We let them define everything.
I mean, some of us do, but that's why, to be honest, it's why I'll never go into politics and always be an activist. Because I think in some respects I'd be a really good political leader, but I am not going to, I'm not going to make excuses or like whatever for, things I did in the past that were like personal. They weren't like anything like the crazy stuff these assholes have done, because I didn't hurt anybody or murder anybody or anything nuts like that. But, just things I did as a kid, whatever, like, what kids do, wild stuff, whatever, that isn't maybe seen by some like more conservatives as moral or whatever, like that kind of stuff. And also, I'm not going to like just go to the center just to go to the center. Like, I think, we need a cultural and social revolution. We don't, it's not, there's so much broken. We have to fix it.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
Just constantly saying it's not broken is doing nothing. So that's actually one of my biggest fears. I don't think this time around we're going to get, I think MAGA's dead in the water. I mean, in many respects. I'm not saying we should ever discount them forever, because we did that this time and that's what happened. So we can't discount them. All they're going to do is go crawl back into their caves, but they're still going to be there. They're not all dying. There's not going to be a MAGA extinction. And, the Stephen Millers of the world, those people will go in their little corners and their little secret laboratories and, raise their little evil heads another day, So if we don't keep track of them, I mean, we need to keep track of these people. But, I have a good way to do it. We could put them all in prison. That would be a good way to keep track of them. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm hoping. But
a lot of the people who worked in the first Trump administration or were in some way connected to it did end up in prison. I mean, Trump pardoned a lot of them.
Well, what we're going to have to do, though, it's going to take some balls. The Democrats are going to have to say that some of these, what is it called when you? Oh my God, I cannot think of words today. When you dismiss behaviors, pardons. I think we're going to actually have to call some of these pardons non-legitimate.
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah.
I don't think that. I think anyone that commits treason, that should be a line in the sand. Like you didn't, you cannot be pardoned. Like the people that attack, like the Jan 6ers, we need to revoke their pardons. Like they do not have a right to be pardoned.
I don't know if there's any kind of legal process or mechanism to do that. Is there?
I think we have to make one. I think that's what I'm saying. Yeah. We have to start doing these things. We have to stop being afraid of the Constitution, doing amendments to the Constitution. It was designed to have amendments.
Mm-hmm. Anyway. Agreed. Yeah. Absolutely. Well said. Well, Todd, we're at the 1 hour mark, and I think I've probably lost 10 pounds sitting here in this very sweaty room. It's probably good for me, though. But episode 17.
You are cracking me up.
Well, I'm like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm very,
gross. Yeah,
very,
you can't see
very moist.
I hate that word.
Everyone does. That's why I say it. The night was moist. Have you seen Throw Mama from the Train?
Oh, that's a horrible show. Anyway, movie, whatever.
You don't like Throw Mama from the Train?
Well, it's sketchy. She sketches me out. She creeps me out.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. Well, she's supposed to, but it's a great movie.
No, but just her as a person, the actress creeps me out. Like, I would be afraid if I ever met her.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she's dead. Yeah. Well, she got thrown from a train. Actually, she didn't. But that's such a good movie. Todd, where can do you want to, before we wrap up, do you want to mention anything about Sarah's campaign or?
Yeah, I mean, so I have been officially as the political action co-chair of Human Rights Campaign. I have officially endorsed her. Okay. I think what I like about her is that, look, I mean, a lot of people talk about supporting LGBTQ rights, but Sarah really does it. I mean, and even though she is not a millionaire, she went and spent like millionaire money going a bunch of us to the HRC benefit event. You know, those are like $500 plus tickets to donate towards the cause of like legislation.
Todd, before you go any further, you should just clarify for people what HRC is, because some people are going to think you mean Hillary Rodham Clinton, and they're going to be very confused.
HRC is the Human Rights Campaign. Yep. Initially, it's the largest LGBTQ lobby in the United States, probably the world, but it has since kind of adopted all gender equality. So it's really obviously are at they're very big championing with the ACLU and other gender rights organizations, a lot of women's organizations. We work a lot hand in hand. But anyway, fund a lot of the legal battles against, the anti-trans bills, the trying to roll back gay marriage, if that's happening, any of that kind of stuff, we would fight that. So anyway, actually, we were big funders of the right to marry.
Good.
Yeah. So anyway, so Sarah really, she's also the parent of a trans child. Okay. And she really, gets out there and is in the front lines with us. So, that's why I think, to me, it's all about authenticity. So, yeah, I think it's important that we support authentic characters. And the thing is, she doesn't have any, if anything, she's nice to everyone, even people that I couldn't certainly be nice to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think, if anything, she's a litmus test, and she needs to, like, I think everyone should vote for her or vote for what she stands for. You're voting for a cause. You're not voting for her. You're voting for what she stands for, which is true systemic and sustainable change for the people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Outstanding.
I think that matters.
Okay, great. And where can people find you, Todd?
Well, you can find me on Facebook. You can find me obviously on your site, Matt Connerton Live, and then Hanging Left. You can find me on Substack, although I need to get more active. All that stuff.
All right. Well, very good. Very good. And of course, you can find me at mattconnerton.com. You just have to figure out how to spell Connerton. mattconnerton.com. And please subscribe to the podcast on your podcast platform of choice, or if you're enjoying this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And episode 17 in the books. That's going to do it for us.
Oh, yes. And one more thing. You can always find me at any No Kings rally because I'm always there in person, and I'm more than willing to talk to you in person. So.
There you go. There you go. All right. Very good. All right. Thank you so much, Todd. Thanks, everybody.
You.
We'll talk to y'all a little bit later. Bye-bye.
Talk to you later.